All right. Good morning, everyone. So welcome to the writing class. Today, we are going to do writing task one and writing task two. The main purpose of writing task one and writing task two is preparing. That is, we need to find out that what is needed for good answers. What sort of skills do we need to write a good answer? And what is the best way of getting whatever scores you need? For example, if you want 6 bands, 7 bands, 8 bands, irrespective of your band score, we need to see what do we need. Yes. For example, let's start with the writing task one. Writing task one is a 10 minutes task where we write down 30 to 40 words. That's what we recommend. However, what is recommended by PTE is 5 to 75 words. If you want to know, I'll show you in a minute that why 30 to 40 words or even less than 30 words are acceptable. That's important for you guys to know. And the conditions for writing task one are that we have to have, it has to be one sentence meaning one full stop at the end, and it must include the main ideas. For the highest band score for writing task one, we must have all the main ideas included in the passage. You will see on YouTube and other platforms people saying different sort of things. Pick one line, pick another line, join two lines as it is, and that will give you your bands. However, I would stay away from it. I would not recommend you guys doing that. Just follow what is being said in the class. You know, people are getting 8 bands, 9 bands, 7 bands, whatever they need, just because they are following the skills. Okay, so we have to do the right thing. Okay, so writing task one. So these are the skills. If you see in front of you, you have to make sure that you understand the overall idea of the passage. For highest band score, which is 8 bands or maximum scores, you will need to know that whatever you write, it is the main idea, number one. Number two, what you need to remember is that you should always look for the main idea by looking at repeated words, words near conjunctions, and starting and ending of every paragraph. What are conjunctions, by the way? Conjunctions are connectors, because any information around connectors is definitely important. Starting and ending of paragraph sometimes has main ideas. After that, if there are multiple paragraphs, and we discussed it a couple of days ago when we did writing task one from the Age, from a newspaper. So if there are multiple paragraphs in front of you, the approach should be you summarize each paragraph and join those ideas. So that joining, that joining is called cohesion of information. What it is called? Cohesion of information. If you could please write it down. Cohesion of information is very important. What is important? Cohesion of information. Cohesion means flow of information, means a connection of information. Cohesion. Cohesion of information in your answers is very important, because if there is no cohesion, even if you have written the main ideas, they are purposeless because they do not convey any meaning, if that makes sense. For example, I say, I have come to class to do writing skills. Yes, if any of my grammatical structures is missing from this particular sentence, I may not make sense. I come to grammar class. Does that make sense? So in terms of English, we have to be correct. In terms of English, we have to be correct. That's why it is important that even if you write simple sentences, you will still be okay. Even if you write simple sentences, but correct sentences, you will be fine. And for 6 bands, as I said, you don't really need to worry about ideas. You can write 2 lines from anywhere. For 7 bands, you will need at least 60% of the main idea or 70% of the main idea. And for 8 bands, you will need at least 90 to 95%, means 100% of the main idea. And when you write an answer, as I said, you have to join the ideas with multiple conjunctions or connectors. Now, connectors and conjunctions are the same thing. Okay, I'm using different vocabulary for that. There are 5 main types of connectors that we use. There are more than this as well, but these are the 5 most common type. If you see, the 5 most common type of connectors are as follows. We term them as C, S, R, R, O. How do we term it as, everyone, please? C, S, R, R, O. Comparison, same idea, reason, result, and opposite idea. So these are the words that help us to show comparison, same idea, reason, result, and opposite idea. There can be more words than this, but these are the most commonly used words. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Yes. Beautiful. So this is writing task 1. Now, as I told you before, that actual word limit is 5 to 75 words. That is according to PTE, the actual word limit. But we do not go to 5 to 75 words. We keep it between 30 to 40 and sometimes 50 as well, but not more than that. Why? Because writing more than that can potentially lead to more mistakes. When you write more, you make more mistakes. Chances of mistakes are more. That's number 1. Number 2, when you write something, you can pick it from the passage as it is, aloud. Ideally, you should paraphrase. Ideally, you should paraphrase. Paraphrase means you should rewrite what you have understood. But if you make mistakes in what you have paraphrased, it will be of no use. Therefore, you should avoid paraphrasing, or you should only do it when you know that your sentencing is correct. Otherwise, you can pick the ideas as it is from the passage, important words. And thirdly, as I said, you have to identify them. Thirdly, yes, writing task, the term writing is not only dependent on task 1 and task 2, it is also dependent on summarize spoken text and write from dictation. So it means your listening, those 2 modules, summarize spoken text and write from dictation, must be correct in order for you to get marks in writing, actual writing. Even if you have done full task 1 and full task 2, fully correct, 100% correct from your side, but you missed some points in summarized spoken text, or you wrote incorrect writing there, or you wrote incorrect, or you could not finish, if you could not finish your write from dictation, or you made some mistakes in fill in the blanks, you will not get marks in writing. Hence, this interconnection makes it very important that you do summarize spoken text, write from dictation, writing task 1 and writing task 2 together. Yes or no? Yes. Any questions? Yes, please.
So you said filling the blanks. Is it related to spelling of that word?
Yes, it is. See, whenever you listen and you write, it is going to affect your writing. Okay, so spellings, of course, if spellings are wrong, it means you don't know how to write. So this is going to affect your spellings as well as writing. Try that, maybe try that in an exam. Leave all the fill in the blanks and see, do you pass in writing? It's just a joke, yeah? Means don't try that. It's definitely going to be, it's going to hamper your scores. Anyway, now I wanted to show you something. I told you that why we say 30 to 40 words are also correct. So if you go to ptpractice.com, that is the Pearson's actual website. Yes, ptpractice.com. So I log in. Everyone knows these username passwords have been given to everyone on the first day. These are called sample questions. If I go to sample questions, if you see here, I'll give you an overview first, that what is expected of you, so that you can write answers accordingly. Okay. So this is summarized written text. I'll quickly give you, make sure answer is this. If you write more or less, the word limit, they will affect your score. Yes, if you write less than 5 or if you write more than 75, that affects your score. Okay, I go start. Now, this is the writing task 1. If you can all have a quick read, will be really good. Quickly give it a read. Focus on the beginning of the paragraph. Yep. So if you see in the beginning of the paragraph, you will see one simple line, you will see one single sentence, and after that, explanation has been given. Yes or no? Yeah. So if I map it with the skills that I just showed you, it's written here that whenever you look at a paragraph, to find out the main idea, analyze the starting and ending. It's not always the case, but most of the times that's the case. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So this is what it is. You understand a little bit of idea? Yes. There are multiple paragraphs given. Okay. I go next and I go finish and I go okay. Now I want to check the answer. So where is the answer? I'll go home and I'll go to the results part. Okay. And if you will see the answer, you'll be surprised. that how simply they have written that answer. Look at this. Read the sample answer. A new UN report finds that increasing surface temperature around the world is causing rising sea levels, shrinking sea ice and snow cover, and changes in precipitation. Has it included too much detail? No, because this is the overall idea. Now we can't be this short just to save ourselves. So if you see this is less than 30 words. Does that make sense? Overall idea is needed. What's needed? Overall idea. Anyone who is able to pick up the overall idea and write it, they will still get exactly the same number of bands compared to someone who has written everything. Does that make sense? So this is one. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Online students, hopefully this is making sense to you as well. Now I'll show you another thing. Now have a quick look at number 2. Look at the second question. Now read it carefully because it's going to be very interesting when you look at the answer. All right. Have you understood the main idea? So they're talking about how two ladies, sort of Mona Khalil, they went to their homeland. So they were so disappearing, endangered species. They opened a bed and breakfast in the Khalil family home to finance their efforts. Yep, blah, blah, blah. Moment when the protect the nest, predators, the space on the grid are large enough. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes? Sure?
Yes.
Okay. Now, have a look at the answer. I'll show you the answer now. So this is what we need to learn. So whenever we do sample questions or whenever we look at questions which have already been done, you need to find out how the answer was formed. What was taken from the passage? Now, if you look here, now don't laugh here. Don't be surprised. Thanks to Mon Khalil and Habiba Faid, the sea turtles in Lebanon have a chance for survival. Yeah, this is a 9-band answer. This is an 8 to 9-band answer because that's an overall idea. That's the overall idea of the passage.
Only 15 words.
Huh?
Only 15 words.
This is also how you write an answer. You can write more information as well, but as long as it conveys the main idea. two ladies or two friends, Moin Khalil and Habiba Fayeed, went to their hometown, Lebanon, and they made some efforts to save the endangered species of turtles by opening a bed and breakfast restaurant, and they saved the money and did something to help that. That's it. Does that make sense? So this is the overall crux. So we saw two examples where there were different paragraphs. In the second question as well, there were different paragraphs, but that was more of a story. The second was more of a story, whereas first one was more of a factual information. So factual information can be represented like this, and a story information can be represented like this. Yes or no? Okay. Now we are going to do, yes. So as we were discussing, so the first half talks about how a nap, when taken according to a study, decreases your risk of death by heart disease because it lowers the stress. This is the first half of the paragraph saying. Second half of the paragraph is saying the finding must be confirmed. There could be big health benefits. There could be, means there is a possibility. The siesta is a victim of progress. Most of us aren't in a position to take a daily nap. But our research suggests that practice could protect the heart, and we need further studies to find out if this really is the case. So hence it has again, if you see, if I get rid of all this, the findings must be confirmed, and we need further studies to find out if this really is the case. But overall, we know that this is a good thing, but we need to confirm it. Then if you read the last half, observing heart disease rates are lower in men and see, this is an observation which they have found, but we don't need to write it because that's not the main idea. This is an example. But even if you write it, it is not going to deduct your marks as long as you could put the main idea. A newly published Greek study, blah, 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 blah. So this is again explanation. So overall, if you look at the answer, now I'll show you how the answer was created. Yes. If I scroll down, midday nap can reduce a person's risk of death from heart disease by lowering the stress levels. However, these benefits need to be confirmed through further studies. So overall, what was repeated again and again, we picked that up. Why? Because we need further studies to find out if this really is a case. The findings must be confirmed. But what are the findings? That who take at least 30% less likely to die, who did not take, because recommend for lowering cardiovascular risk. Now match your answer with the sample answer and tell me if it makes sense. Huh? Exactly same. Manjot Singh, what did you write?
But in my own words, like
As long as the main idea is it.
Often admit the person's risk of death from heart disease, possibly by lowering
Possibly lowering by
stress levels.
Correct, that's it. But these results need to be confirmed. If you don't write that these results need to be confirmed, you will get 7.5. If you write these results need to be confirmed with further studies, 8 bands. Taman, your answer?
Taking a midday nap helps in preventing heart diseases, but it has mixed results while doing research among population of different countries.
So what is missing? What is missing from your answer? We need further study to find out if this really is the case. So you've written 7.5 band answer. 8 for 8, we need to know. Pick all the main ideas. Harjot, your answer? It reduces.
The risk of heart disease by reducing the stress level.
What's your answer, Charanjit?
New research suggests that midday nap may prevent heart diseases by lowering stress level, but there are less evidences and this need to be confirmed through further studies.
Correct. Kulwinder Singh?
that explain the navigation is important. Our surgery is using that the cause of protect the heart and we need the study.
Correct. Now you need to speak clearly. Yeah? Now you see overall idea here is, what is the overall idea here? The overall idea is, so this is a paraphrased answer. This is a paraphrased answer. If I have to write everything as it is from the passage, I'll say people who took naps at least 3 times a week for average at least 30 minutes were 37% less likely to die of heart disease than people who did not take regular naps, because it helps in lowering the cardiovascular risk or by lowering stress levels. However, the findings must be confirmed, or we can say we need further studies to find out if this really is the case. So if I have to pick, I'll just pick these lines. because everything else. So this is how my reading skill is also tested while doing writing task 1. Whether I'm able to filter information, whether I'm able to filter the information. Yes or no?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
How to work on writing task 1? Yes or no?
Yes.
Any questions? Beautiful. Now we will move on to writing task 2. All right. Starting with writing task 2, you will see writing task 2 is a 20 minutes task where you have to write down 200 to 300 words, and you should write your answer in 4 to 5 paragraphs. How many paragraphs? 4 to 5 paragraphs. The most important thing in writing is this task achievement. That's the most important aspect because that gives you marks. The maximum marks, for example, for 8 or 7 bands, they come from task achievement. Task achievement means what is your content and what sort of ideas you have written. Coherence and cohesion, as I said earlier, logical flow of information, how the information flows from introduction till conclusion, and how various paragraphs are connected, and how they are relevant to the question itself. Relevance to the question is very important. I'll tell you why people get 7, 7.5. There are some there are some videos online there, and there are some institutes who say use maximum templates, and in the templates put 1 or 2 sentences, and that's it. Well, that is going to give you maximum 6.5 to 7 bands, not 8. Why? Because 8 bands need ideas. What is needed for 8 bands?
Ideas.
Even for 7, you need ideas, if not much. You need less ideas for 7 compared to 8. But writing an essay should not be like filling in the blanks in a template. It will not. The day they see, you don't know how the computer is going to check you. That's why some of the institutes and some of the students feel that giving the exam again and again, like a lottery, one day it will pick up. No, you should pass in the first attempt. And you will only pass in the first attempt if you do the right things from day 1. Does that make sense? The right thing has to be done from day 1. So you have to practice that way. Okay. Thank God it is not IELTS, because in IELTS they do not even accept templates, because a teacher comes, I've checked exams myself with an examiner. You see, if you don't have ideas, no marks, and if you have used templates, no marks for that. And it's very hard to score marks in IELTS. Thank God we have PTE. So in this, at least we can apply half of our brain, which we would have applied in IELTS. Yes or no? Why I'm comparing with IELTS? Because people say PT is difficult. It's not. Think about IELTS. You wouldn't have got 7 in writing or even 6 in writing if it had been IELTS. Yes or no? So coming back, we need to keep in mind coherence and cohesion, logical flow of information, lexical resource, good spellings, good vocabulary, and good sentence structure. Okay? No spelling mistakes. A range of vocabulary must be used. Grammar, subject-verb agreement. These are the mistakes which you make maximum in your essays. Hence, we give you exercises like these. Hence, we give you such exercises. Tenses and punctuation, subject-verb agreement, prepositions, active passive rules. Okay? Coming down, an essay must have the following master weapons. An essay must have the following master weapons. Number 1, clear presentation of ideas, means you should have clear ideas written there. Number 2, logical sequencing of ideas. Now, clear presentation means if you have written a sentence, you should be able to explain it. You should be able to explain that. Logical sequencing means you should have a proper structure of a body paragraph or a sentence. So if you say that there are advantages, then you should be able to support yourself. So that is called logical sequencing. Error-free sentences means rare grammatical or spelling mistakes should be there. Finally, mix of simple and complex sentence structures. And thirdly, strictly restricted to third person or first person. We never write you in an essay. We write I, we, he, she, it, one. Okay. Then there is another element which says effective paragraphing. Effective paragraphing means every paragraph that you write, it should have a clear main idea. It should have a clear main idea. Anyone who needs 8, the stakes are high. You have to be good. 7 as well, you follow these things, it will help you. But you have to remember this to follow this. There are 2 types of essays. One is discussion based, another is argumentative. Discussion is you discuss both sides. Debatable is you discuss only one side. How to differentiate between both? If a question says, do you agree or disagree? It is debate. It is one-sided. It is one-sided essay, and you will only talk about one side. If it says causes and effects, problems and solutions, advantages, disadvantages, it is a descriptive essay. It is a descriptive essay. Yes or no?
Yes.
Descriptive and debatable. You understand the difference? If a statement says, do you think this is good? Question is, do you think this is good? It is one-sided or two-sided? One-sided, because it is asking for yes or no question. Any question that can be answered with a yes or no is debatable.
Just asking your options.
Yes. We understand this?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, these are the steps of time management. Very, very important. You must analyze the question first. Find out whether it is a descriptive essay or a debatable essay. Finally, plan the answer. Plan the answer, as in finally, I say after analyzing, plan what I want to write. How do we come to know that your answers are not planned? Because you have written correct information, but it is wrong. It is written in a wrong way. So it means planning and organizing was wrong. It's like when you go from one destination to another, instead of taking the shortest path, which your navigator or planner, Google Maps would have told you, you took a longer path. And the mistake there was you did not see before leaving the house from which way I have to go. You said, okay, let's go. And then in between you changed ways. Then you have to write your answer, 10 to 11 minutes, execute your plan, and then proofread. At the end, you should have at least 2 to 3 minutes for proofreading. Now, 20 minutes have to be utilized very carefully, and you have to have these last few minutes. And for that, you will have to work on your typing speed. And for that, you will have to have ideas, and for that, you will have to practice. In the beginning of the course, you might take 25 minutes or 30 minutes to write an essay, but 2 weeks before the exam or 1 week before the exam, you should be able to write everything in 20 minutes and proofread as well. Yes or no? Fun. Number 2, this can only happen if you write an essay every day and send for checking. Number 3, it will only happen if you read a lot and pick up ideas. And number 4, it's only possible if you're positive. If you start saying, oh my God, this is difficult, I can't do it, forget about it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, we won't look at this approach at the moment. Now, I told you that you have to write 200 to 300 words. Okay. Now, in those 200 to 300 words, we have introduction, we have body paragraph, and we have conclusions. I'll show you something. So this is how an essay structure looks like. We have intro, body 1, body 2, body 3, and conclusion. Body 1 and body 2 are only needed for a descriptive essay. In case you can have a body paragraph 3 if needed. However, a debatable essay should have first body paragraph, second body paragraph, and third body paragraph as a rebuttal paragraph. Okay, we'll explain this. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'll show 2 sample answers of one of descriptive and one of debatable, so that once you understand how to write an essay and what's written, what is expected, then you can write that way. But for that, you will have to keep this in your mind. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you forget the skills, ciao, ciao. You won't remember anything and you won't be able to do it as well.
So how many words are acceptable?
See, because you have to write total 200 to 300 words, anything 201 is also accepted, 209 is also accepted, 299 is also accepted. Overall, 220 to 250. As long as you don't make mistakes, write 300 words, not more than that. As long as you pick up the main idea and you talk about the question itself, write 200 words only. That's enough. But you have to make sure that you talk sense and you don't make mistakes. So no exact limit, but overall what we have seen is 250 is a reasonable word limit in which you are able to express everything as well and not make more mistakes. Because more you write, more the chances of mistakes. So this is how a structure of an essay looks like: positive, negative, problem solution, descriptive essay, and then we have debatable, intro, body 1, body 2, body 3, and conclusion. So body 3 is a rebuttal paragraph. I'll show that to you in a minute. Does this make sense? Yes or no? All right. Now we go to the skills part. Structure of an introduction, it looks like this: 2 to 3 sentences of the background, 1 or 2 sentences about the essay topic, and thesis statement, last line of introduction, what you are going to write in the essay. This is important. Whatever you write in the thesis statement, computer checks that. Computer checks that information. So if you have written here, I'm going to talk about positive and negative, throughout the essay, computer will be looking at positives and negatives. Body paragraph, it should have a clear point of view, clear starting, its explanation and example. If you don't have good explanation, you can give an example. If you have good explanation, example is not needed. Yes or no? Understanding everyone? Sure. All this information has already been sent to you anyway in the skills file. Okay. Going forward, you will see there are some lines which can be used for descriptive essays. For example, the various ways of writing a thesis statement. Introduction lines. Usually it's very difficult to start an introduction. You get an essay topic. Where should I start from? You can use this line to start your introduction. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Then how to start a body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3 if needed, and how to write an example. So this is the extra words that you can use from here as it is, and they will not be considered as too many words which you have used from outside, means as a template. So these words, they help you to connect one paragraph with second and second with third. Yes or no? Hello, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is descriptive and this is debatable paragraph. Sign. Thesis statement, body paragraph 1 starting line, body paragraph 2 starting line, and body paragraph 3 rebuttal paragraph starting line. Okay. Conclusion line. So if you see, you have to write 200 to 300 words. 40 words you get at least from these body paragraph starting lines. 40 words out of 200. Let's say 200 is what we have to write. 40 words will come from these body paragraph starting lines if you learn them. Now, those who are not able to write a good introduction and conclusion, there are these structures as well. Descriptive essay, debatable essay. How to start, if there is an essay which talks about two different elements, you can use this introduction and add a thesis statement. But remember, topic statement, which is here, should be changed to fit the structure and then add relevant thesis statement. So these are generalized statements, generalized introductions and conclusions. However, you have to make them suitable for a particular question, and that depends on you, how you do it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Introduction, conclusion, introduction, conclusion. So any essay which is descriptive or debatable related to technology, mass communication, recent invention, you can use this introduction and you can use this conclusion. And you will see if I add the topic statement in this and this, these are roughly 100 words. How many words? 100 words. So 100 words for introduction, conclusion, and 40 words from body paragraph. So how many words already you know? 140. So let's say if you are writing 200 words or 220 words, 140 words you already have. So how many more do you have to write? 80. Now those 80 words are going to be the crux of your writing score. Anything that you write over and above the template or structure gives you marks in your writing. 7 bands or 8 bands. 6, no problems. Does that make sense? So ideas matter the most. So this is, everyone has access to this. It is on the skills file. Now I'm going to show you 2 sample essays. Okay. One descriptive, another debatable, where we will see how the structure is followed and how these introduction conclusions have been followed and how these body paragraph lines have been followed. Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Nowadays, it is increasingly more difficult to maintain the right balance between works and other aspects of one's life, such as leisure time with family members. How important do you think is the best balance? Why do people find it hard to achieve? So it is asking for reasons. It is asking for reasons. And what are the consequences? Yes, so it is a reason and effect question. So therefore it is descriptive. There are more situations using credit cards. It seems that cashless society is becoming reality. How realistic do you think it is? And do you think it brings benefits or problems? Descriptive or debatable? It is a descriptive essay because it is already saying discuss the problems and benefits. Now, another topic is large shopping malls are replacing small local shops. What is your opinion? Do you think it is a good or a bad change?
Debatable.
Huh? What is it? Debatable. Why it is debatable?
He's asking if either it's it could be good change
Or
why
a
good or a bad
change. Why it's a bad change? So you have to discuss only one side.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. If I compare this essay number 14 to essay number, the one which you just did, where was it? Benefits or problems. See, benefits and problems are two sides.
Yeah.
Good and bad is either one. Either something is good or something is bad. But when I say benefits and problems, it either has benefits or it has sorry, it has benefits as well as problems. So question has to be understood carefully. Yes or no? Okay, now we will go to the sample questions and I'll tell you how the structures have been followed. We have done this essay in the class again. It is very important to know how a question is written. How a question is written, not question number 2. Okay, look at this. In less developed countries, are the disadvantages from tourism as great as the advantages? So here they are talking about what type of elements? Advantages and disadvantages. Hence, it is a descriptive essay. It is a descriptive essay. So because it is a descriptive essay, I'll follow intro, body 1, body 2, conclusion. Intro, body 1, body 2, and conclusion. Now I'll show you the introduction. Have you read this before?
Yes.
Everything has its own significance. Nothing should be undervalued or overvalued. Yes, I showed you in the structure part, the introduction part. Yes. So if someone does not know how to write an introduction, we can use this. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So, and at the end, I wrote the following paragraph will discuss how developing nations have many merits and demerits of increase in tourism. Thesis statement. Let's start by considering the benefits of the tourism for a country. Now, again, this line has been taken from the body paragraph lines. Let's start by considering. It is again in the skills file under descriptive essay body paragraph lines. Then, however, it would also be interesting to see the negative impacts. So again, this line is from here. However, it would also be interesting to see. So those 40 words which I mentioned earlier, 30 to 40 words, they have been picked from this file. Now, from the analysis of above arguments, it can be concluded. Now, again, this is a structure. How? I go back. It is not bad to use structures, but if you use them brainlessly, yes, it's wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What is that? Right perception. We should be vigilant enough to eliminate the cons. It is this one. Make sense? So you have to use introductions and conclusions carefully. Now look at the ideas. Look at the ideas. Let's start by considering the benefits of a tourism. Usually people have a question, how many ideas should I write in a body paragraph? Well, this is a descriptive essay. 2 to 3 ideas will be enough. The industry increases employment for local residents and generates revenue for the country. So we are talking about employment and revenue. Most of the tourists spend a certain amount of money during their vacation, which generates income for the government during holiday season. Moreover, an influx of tourists into a particular region creates demand for hotels, restaurants, sightseeing, which opens opportunities for local people by creating many jobs in the area. So the main idea was revenue generation and employment. Negative impacts. Now we talk about the negative impacts. Primarily, visitors can have huge impact on local culture, and people start to follow them out of interest and curiosity. That's a negative impact. There can be another negative impact. For example, the natural resource can be under pressure. Historical monuments can be they can be damaged. Further, significant historical places can be damaged and sources can be under influence due to high number of tourists. Thailand is the best example where many locals have complained of external influence and many pristine beaches have been destroyed. You see how the ideas have been written? So whenever you read a sample answer on dashboard, you have to see how it has been written. Only one idea has been explained or multiple ideas have been explained. Do you understand? Harjot Singh, Samandeep,
Yeah.
Manjot, online students?
Yes, sir.
That was a descriptive essay. I'll explain another debatable essay. This we have already done. People are moving to urban areas. What do you think about it? Good or bad? Again, a descriptive essay. Mainly in the exam, you get descriptive essays. Okay, this is a question. Should textbooks be replaced by notebook computers? Should textbooks be replaced by notebook computers or computers? It is a question, yes or no. So it is which kind of essay, descriptive or debatable? Debatable. It is a debatable essay. Now you see, global diaspora is broadly segregated. I'll show that to you on the skills file. Under a descriptive essay banner, we have this introduction. Sorry, debatable essay banner. Our global diaspora is broadly segregated. Yes?
Yes.
So we have used this introduction. Everyone on the screen, please. Now, in order to justify the viewpoint, it can be said that not only this another pivotal aspect of the given statement. However, some people believe that notebook computer should replace. These are all from the skills file, body paragraph sentences. In order to justify the viewpoint, not only this another pivotal aspect, however, some people believe. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3. Lines have been taken, introduction and conclusion has been taken. So under 20 words, 230 words are picked from the templates or structures. Now, textbooks aid our learning process. In a debatable essay, one paragraph should have one idea fully explained. In a debatable essay, one paragraph should have one idea which is fully explained. Textbooks aid our learning process because we use several senses simultaneously when we read a physical book, such as seeing, sensing the heaviness, listening to the sound of flipping pages, and writing notes as we read. The effectiveness of this learning style has been proved by many scientific researchers. Well, this body paragraph can be changed as well. I'm going to change it. We can add something better in it. But look at the way the argument has been explained. Look at the way the argument has been explained. Not only this, another pivotal aspect of the given statement is that physical books create memories for the learner. For instance, we can see what we did not understand back then and the emotion we had during the reading process when we review our written notes on the book. Well, I will not consider this as a very strong argument, but if you see how the argument has been explained, that is most important. For 7 bands, you may not have to explain an argument too much, but just mention an argument. But for 8, you definitely need to explain an argument. And this explanation, what to write, what not to write, should be done before you start typing in planning part. In which part? In the planning part. This is a rebuttal paragraph. You know how it is written, rebuttal? I agree with the topic. I completely disagree with the topic that textbooks should be replaced by digital books. So I disagree with the topic. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, people who agree with it, why they are wrong? That is called rebuttal paragraph. People who agree with the topic, why they are wrong. However, some people believe that notebook computers should replace physical books as they can reduce the damage to the environment by cutting down on paper consumption. I personally opine that because the memory and our written notes are far more important to our personal growth, and this experience cannot be obtained from digital books. So I refer to that viewpoint and I prove it wrong. I refer to that viewpoint and I prove it wrong. That is called rebuttal paragraph. For example, I'll give you another example. Question is, public transport is better than private transport. Agree or disagree? I agree with it. I agree, and let's say Manjot Singh disagrees. In first body paragraph, I'll tell why I agree. I agree public transport is good because it saves time. It saves time, number 1. Number 2, I'll say it saves money and it saves environment. In number 3 paragraph, I'll say, however, some people believe, private transport is good because you can go whenever you want. And as many family members can go. But on the other hand, I personally opine, you still need to pay for your parking, you need to pay for your petrol, and it also emits more greenhouse gases, which is not good for environment. So I acknowledge the other viewpoint and I prove it wrong. That is called rebuttal paragraph. That is called rebuttal paragraph. So whenever you go through the sample answers on dashboard, see how writings have been written, what sort of ideas have been discussed. Am I clear? Beautiful. So with this, I hope everyone, it has made